Hey y'all, this is the Healthy Hot Girl podcast, and I'm your host, Cynthia Pena. I'm a women's empowerment coach, but all are welcome here. I'm super passionate about body, mind, and soul wellness and being the best version of yourself inside and out. I hope this podcast helps you come home to your true and most authentic self. I hope this podcast encourages you to love yourself more, pursue your passions, and create a life you truly love. This podcast is about health, healing, and happiness. Happy Friday. I think I really want to start sharing a little bit more about my experiences, leveraging my life experiences and the work that I am just doing personally. Today I had therapy, and I talk about really my day-to-day interactions with the most important people in my life. And I have been peeling back the layers of the onion of how things make me feel. And, this week I had coffee with a coworker of mine, and I just shared a little bit about my story that a lot of people don't know about me. And that I feel like I was just my first learned emotion and coping as anger. And, I feel like my parents felt angry a lot growing up. And, then I was surrounded by people who wanted me to be angry. Like, they wanted me to be tough. They wanted me to be strong. They wanted me, to literally fight, to, I had to become this person who didn't take anybody's shit, and, to survive. And now I'm unlearning that and learning how to access other emotions. Okay, but still some of them come through anger. Like, my first response is normally anger, and then it's like, okay, how did that make me feel? That made me feel unconsidered, unvalued, unimportant, unthought of, incapable, like all of these things. And, and then starting to like find compassion for, myself, and like, where do those inner feelings stem from? And then compassion for others, like, okay, if I was this person, like, why would I do this? Is it because they're busy? Is it because they are overwhelmed and they, don't have time to communicate? Do they have things that, financial stressors? Like, I just kind of try to understand, other people's perspectives. And, one thing that came up for me in therapy today was there are no bad parts. So I don't know if you've heard of IFS, which is Internal Family Systems, and it's work that I have been wanting to do for myself and in therapy. So I have, many different, we all have different parts. No parts are bad. Personally, my personal experience is that I have parts that I make bad of me. And so I struggle with a lot of like shame and guilt and a limiting belief that I am just kind of bad, gonna get in trouble, always ruining things, angry, aggressive. And, I think there were, environments that, maybe, also like societal conditioning that maybe adds to that too. But you know, as I feel these things when I'm doing this work and like breaking, processing these triggers or these life experiences, I immediately go to this like I am bad because this interaction upset me, or I'm bad because I had to provide feedback about my experience to this person. And to be honest, I don't even want to do it. I don't want to provide feedback. I don't want to have difficult conversations all the time. I do them because they're important, and I just like, I care about you. I care about the relationship. I care about the success of our connection. And, it's something that the only way out is through. So I'm going to do my best to stretch myself and to try to, have, just bring the issues out into the open so that we can resolve them, so that we can have a better connection going forward. And, one of the big kind of breakthroughs for me today was, just realizing there are no bad parts, and that it's okay for me to experience those feelings and those thoughts, but continue to dig deeper, continue to ask myself questions about what that initial anger response is like trying to teach me, so I can get to these other so I can understand these other emotions that, maybe when I was younger, I didn't have anybody to teach me to understand my feelings or to validate my feelings, because that's important too. It's important to honor your experiences, validate how you're feeling, and then, figure out a healthy approach to move forward in, the relationship and or the conversation or whatever that life experience looks like for you. A lot of these things are I feel like a relationship based for me. Romantic, personal, friendships, work partnerships. So yeah, it's just really about validating your experience, trying to name those feelings, and then giving yourself space to like operate in each of those feelings that you're feeling, and then getting to a place where maybe you're a little less emotionally charged and you can think about how your current self wants to approach the situation in a way that really aligns with who you are in this moment and the higher self that you have within you, that you strive to be. And just really giving also yourself grace. I went to coffee with a coworker of mine, and I kind of had just explained a little bit about my personal story and my upbringing and my early childhood experiences, for which I really don't share a lot about. And but yeah, I feel like there's a lot of anger. Maybe there's a lot of violence. Maybe there's some abuse. There's a lot of unhealthy coping mechanisms, and there's a young, really, lost girl that's looking for love and acceptance and belonging. And I was just being vulnerable, and I shared like, hey, I feel like my anger is my first learned reaction, and I've been just doing all this healing, and I've been doing all this work to really like change my environment, change my internal environment, change my external environments, have completely changed my social settings, circles. Like every single thing in my life is like, I have really let go to come home to myself. And her response was so compassionate towards me. It was like, well, how could that not be your first learned reaction when that's all that was around you? And I felt like I just wanted to cry because I couldn't believe that this person who I know, but I don't, this was us getting to know each other more. So we've worked together for, 18 months. But we don't work very closely together all the time. But like, so for me, just this person, who's in my ecosystem, for her to just extend so much compassion to me that I couldn't even extend to myself, was just really eye-opening to me. And it was like, aha, like, how would that not be my first learned reaction? If, yeah, that's all I was surrounded with, how would I learn anything else? Like, I'm a kid. I'm just learning what I see and what people are teaching me. And I'm trying to make, all these people in my life happy. And this is what they're asking for me to do, or this is what they're showing me. This is what they're modeling. How would I not learn anything else? And so, it was eye-opening for many reasons. One, to have that compassion extended to me, and two, to look at the compassion that I had been giving myself. And I really wasn't giving myself compassion. I was just like, you should have done better. You should have done more. You should be perfect. You should be better. Instead of saying, like, it's okay. You did at that time what you needed to do to survive, and you don't need to do that anymore. And now you're unlearning those things, and it's okay to honor that part of your life, but it doesn't get to own you anymore around who you think you are now and what you're capable of and what you're worthy of. And it doesn't define your character, and it doesn't get to continue to haunt you anymore. So, moral of this story is, if you're struggling with shame or guilt, your purest nature is that you were born into this world pure and innocent and good. And the light within me honors, sees, reflects, and respects the light that is within you. Thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a review. I would love to know what you thought of this episode. Don't forget to share it with a friend that you think also could use this message. And feel free to connect with me on Facebook or Instagram. My Instagram is _Cynpena, so CYNPENA. And if you're interested in working with me more, feel free to shoot me an email at hello@thehealthyhotgirl.com. Sending you lots of love and light, and I hope that you remain fearless in the pursuit of what sets your soul on fire.